So as Brother Aleem was relating what we have discussed in the last session, we have discussed a few things about the theory of evolution. The reason being, the theory of evolution contradicts with almost all religions on the world. The reason why we need to discuss about theory of evolution or to think of accepting or not accepting certain points of it is to establish our own belief, our own thoughts about our own religion. These are mostly mutually exclusive. If we believe in theory of evolution, then we do not believe in any religion, because no religion on this face of the earth says that man has evolved from monkeys, isn't it? And if we believe in religion, we shouldn't believe in theory of evolution, isn't it? Because that contradicts this contradicts that. So it's mutually exclusive. I cannot say that I believe in theory of evolution also and theory of the religion also. I have to choose one. And now a question arises, because we ourselves have not seen God. Yes, no? Have you seen God? We have not. We have not seen the human being evolving from monkeys also, the apes also. So why is that we need to form an opinion? Why shall we form an opinion that this is right and that is not right? A question arises, isn't it? Instead of going into the details of why religion is true and why the theory of evolution is only the creation of human mind, let us look at the benefits of it. What would happen if I follow the theory of evolution, and what would happen if I follow the religion? To start with, the religion first. Okay, so can you tell me why we shall not, or why it's good not to believe in the principles of theory of evolution? Because we have not seen both the things happening or not happening. We have to make our own judgment basing on the information which we received from our predecessors, from the history books, from the science books. Basing on that, we have to form an opinion. So now I ask you, why is that we need to follow, or why is that we need to believe in religion and not in theory of evolution? Any reasons coming in your mind? Why religion? I'm asking you, why religion? Kyun? Why religion?
Religion teaches us good and bad, and for the betterment of our dunya and akhirah.
Religion teaches us good and bad, and that is good for our life and the hereafter also. But again, the concept of hereafter is also given by the religion, which the theory of evolution doesn't recognize. So if we discount that and only consider the theory of only the life only, again relook at the question, why religion? 1 second, brother has started first.
It gives us the way of life, and so how to lead a life.
How to lead a life? It gives us a way, how to lead a life.
Religion make us responsible, whereas the theory will not make us responsible.
How responsible? How? In what? Responsibility in what?
In our life, in our way of life, in our society, in our the whole world. How to react, how to perform,
how to lead a life,
how
to be with others, how to have a social life. So these all is taught by religion.
In these all aspects, religion will make us too responsible, whereas in theory it will not happen.
The theory of evolution would not do it so. You are saying something, brothers?
No.
About this or something else? Okay. Please.
Okay. I think especially in these days, we can especially in these scientific days, we have a lot of scientific advancements. We have a lot of things that we can measure that was not possible maybe even 3-4 decades back. Like we can measure the atoms, we can measure the electrons, protons, etc. We can the science had advanced to such a level that now we see that whatever is mentioned in Qur'an and Hadith, especially the scientific facts. So we see that although the Qur'an and Hadith were revealed more than 1400 years back, we can now we can see that those whatever scientific facts were mentioned there in Qur'an and Hadith, we can see them, we can measure them now.
We can see that happening now.
Exactly.
So that's why we need to believe in religion. We're not believing in
That is one of the reasons I would believe in religion. So that is my thought. So.
Yeah. Any other reason from any other person? Pradeep, why do you think we need not follow the theory of evolution and believe in religion?
Same as previous.
Same as the saying, it makes us responsible. Brother Said says that religion makes us feel more responsible, and theory of evolution takes away the responsibility. Now, keeping this particular discussion aside, because what is required these days is objectivity. Because I think something is right is not going to work anymore. Earlier it has worked. Because I believe in some person who is respected in my eyes. He thinks and he says something. I used to believe that because he is revered, he is respected. But now this is the life, this is the time which is of objectivity. People are questioning things. My son, who is 2.5 years old, he asks me questions about if I ask him to do something, why to do that. So we need to have objective understanding of these concepts. We cannot bring in our subjectivity inside, saying that I say because he says so, and he also says because somebody else says so. Okay, so let us look at the objective, let us look at these particular things very objectively. Now, keeping this particular discussion aside, another question arises. Another question I want to just pose. What is the purpose of having a law? Qanun. Laws, we have so many laws, right? What is the purpose? Why shall we have laws in place? LWS laws. Sorry?
Discipline.
So that there is discipline.
There's discipline.
Okay. Any other reason? Harmony and peace. So that there is harmony and peace. If there is harmony and peace already prevailing, is there a need of law? If everybody is responsible, nobody is doing anything wrong, is there a need of any law?
For proper act, we need a law.
For proper?
Act.
For proper act on the part of the citizens, we need to have law. Now the question is, if everything is going on fine, peacefully, everybody is respecting each other, nobody is taking away the rights of others, everybody is performing his and her duties, so do we need law? No, if everybody are doing that already, law enforces, right? If you do not do something, the police would come and or if you do something, the police would come and ask you not to do that, or they may take you, some process happens. That is order in the society. When this happens, there is order in the society. Society is behaving responsibly. Law is written, which imposes itself over the citizens, over the land on which it applies. Law of the land, as we say. So the question is, do we need law? The answer from you is, yes, we need law, because law brings in order in the society. Because there is no order, or there is no proper order, we need to have law in place. If somebody cheats you, or takes away from a right from you, or does not perform his or her duty, then you can knock the door of the court and say, as per this law, this person is not fulfilling his duty. This policeman is not doing his duty as per the law. So, dear court, see to it that he does that. Or somebody breaches your right, somebody comes into your home and wants to stay there. So you would knock the door of the court and say, this guy forcibly enters my home and he wants to be in my home. Okay, he wants to take the right of your privacy. So whenever there is a breach of order in the society, we knock the door of the law. So law is essential. Another question with regards to this. What is, if these are the two options, what is the purpose of the law? Is there a law to see that the society benefits or the individual gets the right first? If these two things are separated, I say law is for individual rights or law is for society's well-being. Which one is more better, more prominent? Society. Law is for the sake of society. So law says that individual rights can be subordinated for the larger interest of society. A criminal who commits a crime and runs away, the police will catch him and put behind the bars. A human right enthusiast goes to the police and says, why is that you have caught this individual and put him in behind the bars? He is guaranteed freedom by the Constitution of India. The Constitution of India suggests that all the citizens of India shall be free. So what will the police tell? He has committed a crime, so he has committed it. Okay, but why do you detain him? You are making his liberty end. What will you say? Because law is, this time, it seems that law is becoming very rigid. You are actually snatching away the right of what do you call that? Freedom, the freedom of the individual.
So making such kind of activities which are very critical to society.
Critical to society, very true. If this fellow is out of the jail, then he may take away rights of so many people. So the rights of so many people is important than the right of one individual, isn't it? That's why he need to be put behind the bars. So this is the basic principle on which the law runs. Okay, earlier, an example on the sidelines, we have fundamental rights under the Constitution of India. We all know that. Fundamental right to expression, right to speech, right to religion, we can have any religion, right to freely move across India, you can go to any place, right to stay, right to form associations, right to have a peaceful assembly, you can meet anywhere and discuss things like we are discussing, we are not doing anything against the law. So these are all the fundamental rights. Previously, right to property was also a fundamental right. Fundamental right means a right which nobody can take from you. If anybody takes from you, then you can directly knock the door of the High Court or the Supreme Court. If somebody takes some other right of yours, then you need to go through the lower order court, city civil court, then the higher court, the magistrate, like that. I don't know the exact hierarchy, but you have to go through this order. But if anybody takes your fundamental right, all which I told you, then you can directly knock the door of the High Court and Supreme Court. So right to property was a fundamental right. The government of Tamil Nadu wanted to do some master planning. It wanted to expand. So what happens in master planning? You acquire the property of the people, right? And you pay them something as per the government rates. So there was one guy who was aware of the law and the constitution fully. So he knocked the door of the court and said that the government is taking away my fundamental right. That is the right to property. So after so many discussions about this, that and so many things, the justice gave a landmark ruling, and that ruling changed the Constitution of India also. He said individual rights need to be subordinated for the larger interest of society. Your right to property is individual right, okay, but it is against the interest of the society. Big trucks or big lorries cannot go from this place, big buses cannot go, it is hampering the development of the city. So your home shall be removed and the road shall be built. The bottom line is individual rights need to be subordinated for the larger good of the society. Depending on that, the Constitution of India was amended, and the right to property is no more a fundamental right, it's a constitutional right. You can have property, nobody stops you from having it. If you are an Indian, you can have property in India. Of course, there are provisions being made for NRIs also to have property in India these days. But Constitution provides for right to property only as a constitutional right, but not as a fundamental right. Today, if the government comes to your home and says, we want your home and we are going to pay you for that, you are bound to surrender your home to them. So the point is, law comes for individual or society? Society at large. So now revisiting the question which we were discussing, whether religion or the theory of evolution. What does religion give us? What do we do when we are in religion? We follow certain rules framed by the religion. We follow certain rules. No, right now I'm getting two particular things which we follow in religion. One is the worship part, the rituals, the regular worships which we do. Almost all the religions have their rituals to perform. Okay, like we have five times prayers in a day, and observing fasting in the month of Ramadan, doing Hajj if you are capable of, and paying zakat. That is charity, compulsory charity of 2.5% from your wealth per annum is a obligation on every practicing Muslim, and every Muslim 2.5%. So these are the rituals of our religion. Okay, this is one aspect of it. Second is the law which the religion gives. The law with regards to property. Who can have property and who cannot have property? What shall be the share of the property after the person passes away? Okay, if the father dies, how much proportion shall the wife get? How much proportion shall the parents of the person get, and the children of the person get, and the brothers and sisters get? This is mentioned in the law. Okay, in the religious law also. Furthermore, the marriage, the laws with regards to marriage, rights of the children, rights of your neighbors, rights of your relatives, rights of the government. What can the government do to you? What is your responsibility towards the government? These all is the law which is provided by the religion also. Okay. Now what we have, because in a given country there are people following so many religions, so we have got a uniform law. Like in India, if we see, we have got uniform law in the criminal aspect. The criminal law is a uniform law. It applies to everybody equally. Of course, there is a personal law. For example, Muslim personal law is there, wherein the law with regards to marriage is governed by the Muslim personal law. Okay, then we have got Hindu Marriage Act, so that governs the marriage between the people, those who profess the Hindu religion. Civil laws, certain civil laws are specific to communities, but generally there is a uniform civil code, uniform civil law. The Constitution of India is uniform. It applies to every citizen of India equally. Okay, so now our religion gives us a law and order also. A law and how to implement that law also. This, whereas the theory of evolution doesn't give these two things. If we are believing in theory of evolution, we are not having any rituals to perform, freedom from rituals. Okay, you need not offer 5 times prayer, you need not pay zakat, you need not observe fasting, etc., etc. And it doesn't give you a law also. Okay, the only voluntary if you believe in theory of evolution, the only thing which you can do is voluntarily follow the law of the land. Voluntarily. Because if we follow in the theory of evolution, we believe that everything has happened by chance. There was nothing earlier. It exploded. Big Bang theory, although given by somebody else, but if we look at it this way, it exploded, and because the earth is at a constant distance from the sun, there is possibility of water existing on it. Planets which are closer to the sun, they don't have water on it. The water is there, but in the form of vapor. Okay, it evaporates because it is closer to the sun, it cannot freeze. The planets which are farther from the earth, they are in the form of ice only. You cannot find a drop of water also over there. Earth is at such a distance from the sun that the existence of water in 3 forms is possible. The vapor form, the liquid form, and the solid form. And these conditions are very conducive for the existence of life. The theory of evolution believes this. Because we are so exactly at such a distance, there is a possibility of life. And because there is a possibility of life, what happened as the time passed on, there were salts on the earth, and it took the shape of the algae, and slowly the life happened started growing into that. Amoeba came into existence. Then other animals started getting formed. Plant life came into picture. This happened, that happened. Then somehow out of the blue, a monkey came. So many people came. So many animals got into the existence, and the life has taken shape. This is what the theory of evolution believes. Now, theory of evolution ends where? When the life disappears. When we are no more, my evolution has ended. But religion doesn't end there. Religion goes beyond that also. Like you were mentioning about the hereafter, the concept of hereafter. What happens after my death? So, one severe limitation in the theory of evolution is this, that I consider that my life ends when I am senseless, when I am breathless, when my heartbeat stops, when my brain stops functioning. My life ends there. There is no evolution beyond that point. Okay, theory of evolution is limited to that. Now, if I believe in this concept, do you think I will live a selfless life or a selfish life? A very selfish life, isn't it? Because nothing is going to happen. If somebody comes and tells you, hey guys, today is the last day of life on the earth, and you are going to be no more after that, and there is no hereafter also, okay? Take it for granted. So what will you do today? Will you enjoy your life, or will you just start worshipping or doing something? We'll start enjoying our life. We will try to get maximum from our life within this given time. Sorry?
Irresponsible activity.
We will start doing irresponsible acts. We'll start enjoying. We'll start entertaining ourselves, and we'll snatch away the rights of others. And we want to stuff ourselves fully. We want to eat as much as possible because today is the last day, and there is no hereafter also. But if somebody comes and tells you, hey guy, there is a life after here. Okay, and today is the last day on the earth. Okay, and if you do good deeds today, you are going to go to heaven, and if you are going to do bad deeds today, you are going to go to hell. What is that you are going to do? Do good deeds. You will do a lot of charity. Feed the poor. If you find people lying on the footpath, you will give them the food. If you have more than a few cloths with you, you will give to the people those who do not have clothes, etc., etc. Isn't it? So the concept of religion makes us more selfless. We think of others also. But the concept of evolution makes us selfish. If we believe it in toto fully, isn't it? Am I not making sense? It makes us very selfish, and we start taking maximum advantage of our life, whatever we have. Now, so many researchers have already refuted the concept of theory of evolution, but still we find that the books of science have a mention of the theory of evolution, isn't it? They speak in detail of it. It seems that there is one segment in the world which doesn't want us to totally refute the theory of evolution, isn't it? That's why it's existing. Why do they want that to be there? For the simple reason that if we do not believe in theory of evolution, we will start believing in the concept of religion. And if we believe in the concept of religion, almost all religions in this world talk of selflessness, helping others, okay, and not running after the wealth, not doing crime. No, almost all the religions talks about non-materialistic life. You live but do not have materialism in your life. Materialism means love for things, belongings. Sorry? Here's yes, greed, yes. If we are very materialistic, we will be very greedy also. Thank you for reminding that. I was watching a documentary on the economic recession of US, and I believe somebody from the White House, very responsible person, has said that this recession has happened because of the corporate greed. The corporates wanted to grow as much as possible, so as fast as possible. The banks wanted to grow as fast as possible, so they wanted to give money to the people to take interest from them, okay, in the form of loans they have given. Okay, I'm sorry. So greed is one reason why the recession has struck. Why greed? Because people have become very materialistic. If we look at the Western way of life, majority of them, I'm not talking about all, because there are people, those who are very spiritual there also. So if we look at the Western way of life, they believe in earning and spending. There is no concept of saving it for the coming generations. Okay, the family, the mom and the father would earn from Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, it goes all in enjoyment. And I have read in an article that nowadays they are having the concept of fortnight salary. It's not a monthly salary like we have. They don't get a salary for every 30 days. They get a salary of only 15 days. Why? Because they spend it out. So the employer himself feels responsible and gives them little quicker and quicker and in parts. So fortnight salary, they take it and they spend it. They don't save it for the coming generation. After 18 years, rather before that itself, you cannot intrude into the privacy of the child. The child will sue you. The other day we have read in the newspapers that one boy, a small boy of some 12 to 13 year old, he has sued his mother because the mother has breached his privacy by going into the Facebook account of the son. So he sued her for damages. Okay, so this is the state where the society is moving out there. People are becoming very materialistic. They want to enjoy the life, living it today, and they don't think of future. So parents get detached from the children as soon as the children start thinking on their own. When they become self-controlled, when they can wear their dresses, when they can eat by themselves, when they can move around, when they can make friends, they do not depend upon the parents anymore, and they start thinking about their own lives. Parents stop thinking about their lives, children's life. Okay, but when we follow religion, it's not so, isn't it? We find in India that we take care of the children even beyond their 25 years, or in certain extreme cases even beyond that also. And the children also feel responsible to the parents. This is because of the religion which we follow. Yeah. So there it is the case. Now, if that is the case, where you earn from Monday to Friday and spend on Saturday and Sunday, you have the system wants you to spend more and more. That's why there is a provision of plastic money. You can have your card in. You need not carry your money with you always. Go to any place and buy it. That's why the concept of credit card. You don't have money? No need to worry, pal. Buy it now, pay it tomorrow. So 15 days later you can pay, or no, if you don't pay, again there is a win-win situation. If you buy, benefits economy. If you buy and pay, benefits economy. If you buy and don't pay, benefits the economy. Okay, somehow the production doesn't stop, isn't it? So the materialistic life has got certain brightness in it. Like you get luxury even without having money. People, those who cannot afford a two-wheeler also, they are having a car, okay, on loan. People, those who cannot afford to pay rent fully, they are affording a home, they are having a home. Why? How? By taking a personal loan or a home loan, whatever. So the system which wants people to be materialistic wants them to believe in the theory of evolution. If we look a couple of years ago, there was a lot of rumoring about the 21st December 2012 case, and some of us started thinking whether really something going to happen. Hollywood also came up with a movie that 21st December 2012. Everybody started talking about that. Why was that? They discovered some Malayan script in which it was mentioned that the calendar was made only to that date. So they started believing that maybe some prediction is made and the life is going to end beyond that point. I don't know the reasons, the mythological reasons behind this particular rumoring, but I can relate this with the materialistic tendencies in which the system at a higher level operates. As we were mentioning, when economic recession happens, people stop spending. What will we do? We put our money in our banks or in our homes. We retain it. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. So our spending comes down, consumption comes down. Now somebody comes and tells you, hey guy, December 21st is the last date. Whatever you spend, whatever you save will be saved in the lockers only, and there will be no life after that. So what will you do? You will take out the money. You will start taking the loans. Why? Because no need to pay after 21st December. Because there is no banker, so there is no debtor. You need not pay also. So in order to reboost the economy, we had experienced this economic recession of 2008. After that, the economy fell down. We had the subprime crisis in US. People stopped buying things, and in fact, so many people were homeless. They were living their lives in the tents. That recession spread to Europe also, and a small flash came to India also. So many people in India also lost jobs. The salaries did not increase, isn't it? So now, if the world starts believing that you are going to be no more after 21st December, what will happen? People will start consuming. When you start consuming, what happens? The production has to be improved. When the production is to be improved, what will happen? You will employ more people. You will employ more, you will pay them, they will go and buy something else. That consumption increases, the production also has to increase. They have to be employed, and the cycle continues. Isn't it? It has happened. Luckily. So many people might have did the same, what I am just now saying. So I am just relating it. I don't have any, if you ask from me any solid proof why or on what basis are you saying this, I don't have any. But it makes sense to think like this also. Isn't it? What happened after 21st December? So many people never realized also, never felt also. As the December approached, there was a little talking about it. Somebody realized on 20th or 23rd of December, 21st December has passed, nothing has happened. I recollected on that very day itself, today is 21st December, we have to see what's going to happen today, but nothing has happened. Isn't it? So, luckily the economy is coming on track again. Again, a recession is going to come because the materialistic lives are, the lives are becoming more and more materialistic. So, coming back to our discussion, this is the reason why we need to not believe in the theory of evolution. The theory of evolution will force us to believe in today itself and have a life king size, spend whatever you have, don't feel responsible for your co-citizens or your family members, because you have come out of chance and you will get dissolved in the nature by chance. What will happen after that is not told. Now come to the religion. The religion tells you your roots are there somewhere. God has created you, and the God has not created you and left you like that. The God has also given you the way to lead your life. Time and again, from the evolution, not the theory of evolution, from the evolution, God has been sending the books, prophets, to guide the humanity how to lead a life. Okay, and of course, if you do good deeds and return, if you pass away, then you come back to us, the God says, then if you do good deeds, you will go into heaven, and if you do bad deeds, you will go to the hell. I'm making sense. So this is why we were doing a lot of talking about why theory of evolution is not relevant. Want to say something? Any points you want to add, friends, here? Sami? So the bottom line is, theory of evolution contradicts all the religions in the world. Irrespective of the faith which we are in, it refutes all the religions. So either we have to believe this or we have to believe that. There cannot be a midway. What we can do is, of course, there are certain good points which are there in the theory of evolution which can take for the sake of learning, like the concept of survival of the fittest. The fit will survive. If all of us go and attend the interview for a particular job, who will get the job? The fit will get the job. The one who deserves the job most will get the job, isn't it? So theory of the concept of survival of the fittest applies in certain cases. Okay, but in not all cases. In fact, the concept of zakat is to counter the concept of survival of the fittest. What happens in zakat? Who has to pay zakat? The wealthy person, the one who is capable of paying it. If you have wealth, this much of some X amount of wealth for 1 year, you have to pay how much percent? 2.5% to the poor and to the needy. Are they fit? They are not fit, but you have to pay. That means, although you are fit, you are not oppressing them, but you are giving 2.5% of your wealth to them. I was looking at a debate in America about the tax cuts, about the tax imposition of the government of US. So one individual was saying, the government has again increased the tax on us. Why shall my hard-earned money be spent on somebody who is worthless? The poor. They are not productive. They are not doing anything good to the economy. And the government is taking 30% of my income to feed them. Why this person is saying so? Because he has got a materialistic feeling. No, I earn, so I shall eat. Why shall I share that with the poor? Whereas the concept of religion tells us, share that with the poor. It's not survival of the fittest. Because you are fittest, you have more responsibility. It's otherwise rather. As fit you are, the bigger the responsibility on you is. Just imagine if 2.5% every person allocates every year to be given to the poor, will there be poverty anymore? It will not be. There will be a balance formed. The rich will not become richer and the poor will not become poorer, but the difference between the rich and the poor will come down. Of course, there will be riches, there will be poor, but still the distance will be reduced. Okay, this is the reason why the theory of evolution, to a certain extent, certain concepts like this can be taken for the sake of motivation and the development, but cannot be taken in toto. That will rather have a detrimental impact on our lives, on our personal life, on our social lives. Now, moving ahead, there are so many religions in this world, and all religions, basically, if we look at, they talk of one side we have got worships to do, at the other side we have got certain specific laws to be followed. If we look at the law side, then we find that there is a lot of similarity between the religions. Like you have to be responsible towards your parents. Every religion says so. You have to you have responsibility of your children also. You have got so many things to do. The law has so many similarities when we talk of different religions. We'll take a break of